Hey, brother.
Hey, Al.
And welcome everyone back to another episode of Siblings in Crime. I'm Allie Rossell.
And I'm Blake Murphy.
And just as sounds, we are siblings who love true crime.
Yes, love it.
Yes, we sure do. Big thanks to everyone who has been supporting us. Please continue to like, subscribe, send it.
Yep.
Oh, and siblingsincrime.com to send in a case suggestion.
Yes, please. We want to get 1,000 views on one of our YouTube videos. So please share with your friends, and we love you forever.
I was thinking about this. I'm like, okay, what can I be doing to help the podcast? Like, what is going to make people want to share it, you know?
Yeah.
So I decided it's time for me to slow down and actually make sure I'm saying correct words.
Whoa.
I know. I was like, it's been over a year, and I haven't even tried to say the correct vocabulary at the right time. And so I think it's time I'm gonna start paying attention, like the filler words, all that stuff. Maybe I'm having
Maybe you're hindering us.
Oh, you think?
I'm just kidding.
I'm maturing.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So.
But you're not gonna hinder us anymore.
Right. That's the goal.
I'm just kidding.
Jerk. And what can you work on? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh, I forgot you're perfect.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, so that's my biggest thing for me. And hopefully...
I'll stop staring into space.
That's a good idea. This is you. It's terrifying. And maybe keep your feet away from you. That helps too.
Okay.
Okay, good, yeah. So anyways, all that to say, we appreciate your support, and hopefully we can continue to grow the podcast. So
grow evermore.
Evermore. Isn't that a song? I don't know. All right, well, you ready to get into it?
I'm ready.
All right, this case may sound familiar to you. I think...
Never heard of it.
Okay. Maybe. So it might sound familiar. Reason being, this is a recent case. This is as recent as last year.
Whoa, 2025?
2025. So, that being said, it may be familiar. However, all the details I hadn't come across until I was reading all the articles. So, hopefully it's more information. But yeah, and it's a little bit shorter because all the information is still not revealed. So,
whoa, you're
we're
crazy.
We're going to get into it.
Okay.
It's 11:15 on a Saturday night in February. You're in the heart of Princeton, New Jersey. Specifically, the residences at Palmer Square. These are $1 million luxury apartments with floor-to-ceiling windows and high-end finishes. It's the kind of place where nothing loud ever happens. But suddenly, the silence is broken by a smoke alarm. A man named Matt is standing in the hallway of his apartment complex. He's on his cell phone with a 911 dispatcher. He sounds breathless but very clear. He reports an apartment fire. As he continues talking with the dispatcher, the sirens start to scream toward the square. And this is his story. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's roll.
That was a great intro.
I was going to say, how am I enunciating?
You're doing great. This is fire.
Oh, thank you.
This is fire literally and
gosh,
figuratively.
Literally fire. Okay, so, this is Matt. He's 31 years old. He's standing there watching the smoke, and the cops have no idea what they're going to be walking into. But before we get to the front door of the apartment, we have to talk about who Matt is and what led up to this day.
Okay.
So we're starting with the Hertgen family.
Okay. Is Matt Hertgen?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Look at you. Nice. Putting the pieces together.
I'm quick.
You're asking the important questions. This family, they're frequently described by local and national news as wealthy, and you're going to see all American family all the time. They're living the American dream.
So they started from nothing and now they're here?
Yeah, not that American. Not extremely American, I guess. But they're just a classic success story. They have 3 boys. They have the brothers. They're Matt, Joe, and David. They grew up in Toms River, the Danbury area of New Jersey, which I'm super unfamiliar with the East Coast. I'm
Same.
Is this cool?
Yeah.
That tells me nothing. So evidently it's a coastal suburban town. I feel it's something you'd really like. It sounds like they all have on waterfront properties.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and beautiful. It's like a mix of residents, but they get a lot of summer tourism because just that stunning, I suppose.
Dansbury.
Maybe we can go and visit.
Let's do it. Let's go get lunch there.
Let's do it. You're so excited. I know
And go on a run.
You've been wanting to go. Blake's like, hey, do you want to go to New York for a day and go get pizza and go on a run? He's like, I had this drive to run in a city. If you haven't noticed, Blake's been a big runner these days, and we're stoked about it.
Just a little bit.
We're so proud.
Dansbury, how do you spell it?
Danbury, Danbury. I think that's like the neighborhood, but the town is like Tom's River.
It's not Connecticut?
I don't know, because I have it of New Jersey, but I don't know all the connections of. I don't know.
It says there's no Danbury in New Jersey.
Do Tom's River. Danbury is like
Tom's River?
An area, so yeah.
Oh, that one's New Jersey.
Yeah, do that one.
Oh, yeah, looks cool.
Yeah, so it seems very pretty. I imagine people go there for some fall colors as well.
It looks a little.
Potentially.
Some of the pictures look weird. But other pictures look cool.
It seems like it's a place to visit. Locals often describe it as a big, small town.
Yeah.
You found them? The good pictures?
Mm-hmm.
Evidently.
The boardwalk.
Oh, pretty.
With a Ferris wheel.
Wow. Everything
you
you could ever want.
It's in the 1980s.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
1970.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's weird. Evidently, it's like a big, small town, they say. It's like a large population, but still like very community-oriented. So you still know your neighbors, even though there's like a ton of people there. So it's close to popular beach towns, which is probably where that Ferris wheel thing was. And many people in this area commute to New York or Philly for work. So I can't imagine that commute, though.
It's probably not that bad.
I don't know. Brett's in New York right now for work, and he has a coworker who she lives like out of town like that, and it takes her an hour and 40 minutes to get to work because like even with the train system and stuff. She can, yeah. So she does like hybrid. She comes in still sometimes, but
Brett has to travel like 6 hours.
I know. It's not like he's there every week though. She's on hybrid. Oh. But I was like, that's kind of a lot to do. But obviously, there's like public transportation the way that we don't have it on the West Coast. So
the way that we don't.
Yeah, we just don't have that. We just are so spaced out. We're a mountainous area. Mm-hmm. Well, their father was a high-level tech executive, hence like the whole all-American part. He was providing a life of privilege and stability that allowed the boys to thrive both academically and in sports. They were like big-time soccer players. That's like their thing. Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a New Jersey thing.
You think?
I don't know. I'm just joking around.
It's like, I would have no idea. Yeah, I guess like their name was tied to like basically soccer legends in this area. I'm not from the area. Couldn't say if they're soccer legends. But at their high school, they were like the best like on their team. They all went to like go play college. Mm-hmm. Like they were like big time. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So we have, like I said, David, Matt, and Joe in that order. David being the oldest. David, he was very competitive soccer player. It seems like he did the least with soccer. He went on to like go and just like go to college. He went into finance, I believe. He was just helping to establish like the family's reputation. Like he still fit the bill that he was like crushing it. Mm-hmm. They often got like preppy nicknamed. Like all the boys were like meant to be preppy.
Is he the youngest one?
He's the oldest.
I thought Matt was the oldest.
Matt's middle. Or sorry, yeah, Matt's middle.
That happens normally. The oldest person's most responsible.
Yeah.
So
very responsible guy. He was athletic, highly motivated, very well known for his abilities to just thrive where he's at. Then we have Matt, who's the middle guy, and he's actually the guy that we started off with this story.
Normally the forgotten child.
We wouldn't know. There's only two of us.
Exactly. We're forgotten.
That's funny. In this, like at the time that this story takes place, he's 31, but today, flashing back, when he was in high school, he did great at soccer. He went on to play at Wesleyan University in Connecticut, where he's also known as a dedicated student athlete. Matt also had a prestigious resume with experience at Trimont Real Estate Advisors in Dallas, and later ended up at Locust Point Capital, an assistant management firm with offices in New York and Red Bank. So he did great financially, great physically, evidently. So all brains and athletics.
Hey,
yeah, he's got it all.
I'm just kidding.
And then he wasn't the only brother like that. Like, the youngest, Joe, was very much like his middle brother, Matt. He was even a step further. Like, he played D1. He was great. At the time of our story, he's 26. But, yeah, before that, he was playing Division I men's soccer at the University of
Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
I know. That's the only downside of Joe.
Yeah.
He wasn't just an athlete. He was a 3-time academic all Big Ten selection, they wrote out. So he was graduating in 2020 with high honors. He also worked as an analyst at Locust Point Capital alongside his brother. So they were working together. They ended up kind of like in the same place. And you just know their parents are like so stoked. Like all of them are great athletes and like well known. All of them are making their money. Like they gotta be so proud of these boys.
Until.
Just
kidding.
That fateful night. So obviously during and after college, the brothers transitioned seamlessly into like high finance careers. And by early 2025, they were living the lifestyle of successful young professionals in the heart of Princeton, New Jersey. So Matt went to Dallas, but he came back and they're all kind of local now. So let's get into where we started.
Okay.
The residences at Palmer Square are the kind of apartments that feel protected from the rest of the world. They are like their own community, you can say. Like I said in the beginning, this luxury apartment at Michelle Muse at Palmer Square is a complex where rent, evidently, is like the highest in the state. Some reports say that it's like a regular standard, like 1-bedroom, 1-bath type is like $4,000 to $6,000. But some are like, oh, but if you want to buy a condo here, it's like $1 million plus. So it has quite the range, but it sounds like it can get real pricey if you want it to be. So they sit right in the heart of Princeton, overlooking manicured gardens and historic stone buildings. It's actually, I'll have pictures of this apartment complex, but it's like so classic East Coast, like the pretty red brick.
Yeah.
I love that look. It's
you should move there.
Maybe I won't. Not enough to move. So on the night of Saturday, February 22nd, 2025, the air was freezing, the streets were quiet, and inside Unit 105, the lights were on.
Yes.
At 11:15 p.m., the silence of the square was punctured by the arrival of patrol cars. Officers from the Princeton Police Department were unsure of what they were really rolling up to.
Yeah, Princeton looks cool.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
It's such a cool area. I feel like I'd really like to visit. So I will have lunch with you there.
Sweet.
Okay.
How did we get there? I'm just kidding. Keep going.
A plane. Okay. So the officers rush past Matt when they get there. And Matt was in the hallway and they push through the door of the apartment. The first thing that hits them isn't the sight of the scene right away. It's actually the smell. It's a thick, choking mix of wood, smoke, and something like metallic. They follow the haze toward the kitchen. On the stove, a fire is burning. Not like an accidental grease fire or anything like that, but like a deliberate, I set my kitchen on fire type.
Interesting. You want to know what I'm missing right now?
What's that?
I'm missing a blanket.
I know, I miss it as well.
I'm cold.
This is the heart of the story, so you better lock in right now.
Rewind 2 seconds.
Okay. A deliberate one. Nearby, they find the family's cat.
Okay.
Disturbingly, the animal has been beaten and set on fire. Okay. And I'm sorry for you animals lovers. There's some people that are like, love a cat over human beings. So I know that was probably really affecting some people.
Yeah.
That is wildly disturbing. And that's like the first thing they stumble upon. So they're already like, what the heck is even happening in this place?
Yeah, that's weird.
But then the flashlights sweep across the living room floor, and the sight that emerges stops everyone cold despite the blazing fire. Lying in the center of the room is a man obviously deceased. The scene suggests he never even stood a chance against his attacker by like the sheer frenzied nature of this attack. Propped or lying near the body are the weapons, a kitchen knife and a golf club. It's a domestic nightmare. Like, this scene is frequently described as overkill. When they turn their full attention to the dead body, it really settles how, like, the full scale of this overkill. There is severe trauma to his face, and investigators realize that one of his eyes have been removed.
Whoa, the freak.
So they immediately began a forensic sweep of the room. They're checking the floor, the trash, the kitchen counters. They're clearing the fire, but also looking like what could have happened to this eye, and it was nowhere to be found. However, on a nearby surface, they find something that could be a possible explanation. It was a kitchen plate. As the flashlights hit the ceramic, the officers see it is covered in blood and what seems to be biological matter.
Ew. Just the eyeball on a plate?
Well, the eyeball's no longer there.
Oh.
Now, we have to be clear with while this specific detail was brought forward during the initial probable cause hearing to illustrate the severity of the scene, this specific detail remains allegations by the prosecution, have not yet been confirmed by a final public medical examiner report. But the findings are alarming because they're thinking, was this consumed?
Yeah.
Right. And that's a gross thought. Allegations, allegedly. That's not proven. But that's what the scene is suggesting. Officers turn to see the man who made the 911 call. We got Matt. Matt's chilling in the hallway. He's waiting for them to come back. And
Matt, we have some questions for you.
This is your apartment, right? What's going on in here? And they notice something immediate. His hands. They are marked with fresh abrasions.
Human head and hands.
Deep scratches. What did you say?
I said human head and hands.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Keep going.
He had scratches. It looked like either some type of defensive wound or struggle marks on his hands. And they're like, hey, so what happened there? That tells the story right then and there. As the smoke is cleared and visibility becomes better, the realization sets in as they walk back into the apartment. The man lying dead is now recognized as 26-year-old Joe Hertgen.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Joe, the Division I athlete, the powerhouse of a young man, the local legend, and the brother of Matt, who is waiting in the hallway.
Yeah.
Isn't that horrible?
Yeah. I'm just confused.
Yeah. Everyone is.
Yes.
So
it's very sad.
It is so sad. Matt doesn't offer a complicated alibi. Matt is just as emotionless as the cops are, just more confused than anything. He doesn't blame an intruder. He looks at the officers and gives a 6-word explanation that effectively ended the lives of 2 brothers in one night.
Both of them?
Him and Matt. He says, I went into a fit of madness.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that horrible?
Yeah. Sounds like a fit of madness. All right. Quick break from the case. Because if you've ever looked up at a plane and thought, I wonder what it's like to actually fly one, this is for you. Today's episode is brought to you by Simply Fly Flight School, a local flight school right here in Arizona that makes learning to fly simple, fast, and actually affordable. Simply Fly offers discovery flights where you can get in a real plane with a certified flight instructor, take the controls, and experience what it's like to be an actual pilot. No experience needed, just show up and enjoy. And for our listeners, you can get $10 off your discovery flight when you book through simplyflyco.com. Whether you're checking off a bucket list item, thinking about becoming a pilot, or just want the coolest experience you'll have all year, this is it. Head to simplyflyco.com, book your discovery flight, and use podcast discount to save $10. Now back to true crime.
It sounds like a fit of madness. It sounds like that's a confession. It sounds like he just put a nail in his own coffin as well. That's so sad. At that moment, the man the town knew as the Wesleyan graduate and a successful finance analyst, he was gone. In his place stood a man who just brutally murdered and mutilated his younger brother.
Dang. That's crazy.
I know. It makes me sick. I'm like, you just never know who your siblings are. Just kidding. But Matt and Joe were roommates at this time, and it was later revealed that just 90 minutes earlier, Matt had been hanging out with the oldest brother, David. Mm-hmm. And he had been dropped off back at the house from David. And I guess I don't know if Matt really opened up to David or what kind of conversations they had, but David was so worried about Matt's mental health. And I guess that Matt has been seeing these visions. And it got to the point that David actually texted Joe and said, hey, keep a close eye on Matt.
Yeah.
Like, he's having these visions again. Joe responded, quote, "Will do." Then he went on to invite David to go on a hike the next day. So these brothers are close. Like, they're all hanging out with each other. And after that last text, he did just as he promised his oldest brother. He stayed close to Matt, trying to be some sort of support system if need be. He just had no idea that the brother he was trying to protect was already checked out.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
And to beat up the cat too, just like it's like he definitely wasn't some kind of crazy rage.
yeah, because it's obviously, that just goes to show it's not like Joe is provoking anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're in a fit of madness, you are blocking out. You don't know what you're doing. You're going crazy, because if Joe was just there, the cat is just there. It's not like the cat is like has a reason to get attacked too.
Yeah.
It's just horrible. So, according to family statements and court documents, Matt had been battling with schizoaffective disorder for about 5 years. I have never heard of the term schizoaffective.
Me neither.
Or schizophrenia. Evidently, this is like a mix of like the whole schizophrenic, where you have symptoms of, or you have symptoms like hallucinations, delusions, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then it's also mixed with a major mood disorder. So you also have things like depression or bipolar disorder. And I feel so sad for people with any sort of schizophrenic behavior or like any type of disease where you're like hallucinating and stuff like that. I can't imagine how terrifying that is.
Yeah.
I actually saw a TikTok one time.
And like I'd always be worried something's gonna it was gonna start.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna go.
You have no control.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I want to like go on this date. Like, hopefully I'm feeling good. And you really don't know when you're not doing well. Like, the reality is so distorted.
Yeah.
That's the scariest thing to me, is you have no idea when things are real and not real. So you don't know how well you're doing.
Yeah, true.
I saw a TikTok, and it was like, this was a long time ago, so I may be butchering it a little bit, but it was something along the lines of, it was like an edited video to show like what it can look like for people who are schizophrenic and seeing hallucinations, and like when people say like the devil told them to do it. And it like freaked me out so bad, because they have like images that made it look like there's like literally devil faces that they see and stuff. I would never sleep again. Like, how do you go day to day? I'm like gonna cry right now. How do you go day to day seeing these things? Like, my heart goes out to people who have to like suffer through such horrible disease. So Matt didn't just have mood swings. Obviously, he had what his brother described as terrifying visions. So I'm not sure if he's seeing like the devil, or if like what type of visions he's seeing, but in cases of like schizoaffective disorder, they often involve command hallucinations, is what it's called. So voices or visions telling them specifically what to do, like often violent or like nonsensical acts. And so that's scary, because you have something telling you what to do, and if you can't like turn it off,
doesn't stop.
Realize it's not real, or so the person experienced it. These like aren't imaginary. Like, they're as real as like a person standing next to him. I would be so tripped out all the time. I'm like talking to you like, you're so skeptical of everyone in your life, probably. Like, your mom gives you a chore and you're like, commanding me, what does that mean? you know, that's so hard. I have zero understanding of it, so I can't speak to the matter, but I feel so sad for people.
Yeah, it's so paranoid, because they're probably always like, is it real? Is it not? Like, why are you telling me to do this? I have to do this right now. Yeah.
And like, this is like a really smart guy. Like, he had a great education, great growing up. He was really big into sports. Like, he didn't show signs of this that I know of when he was younger. It didn't hit until like he really started struggling in 2020. So ironically, that's the same year that Joe was actually graduating with honors from Michigan. So Joe's like starting to thrive, and Matt is starting to go downhill. So it's sad, because I don't think these things are preventable. It's not like he was on drugs or doing crazy things that can like scramble a brain. And I know there's like medication you can be on, and there's therapies you can do and stuff. And although he's it seems as though he was trying to get the help he needed. Like, there's sometimes only so much you can do, especially in the early stages, if you're unfamiliar with what it is.
Yeah.
So Matt had been living in Dallas for a time, like I mentioned, for like the high-level real estate analytics job. Sources close to the family suggest that his mental health struggles played a role in why he actually moved back to New Jersey. So it seemed like that's kind of when he was going downhill. So he wanted to get back to where his family was, which is a great step.
Yeah.
Seems like he's making the right steps in the right direction. Well, he went from being this self-sufficient professional to someone who kind of needed a brother to always watch after him.
Yeah.
And that kind of messes with you mentally alone, like feeling like you're going downhill.
Yeah.
So the interesting, discrete tragedy of this disorder is the waves it comes in. So Matt could hold a job, live in a luxury Princeton apartment, probably had a ton of friends, probably had a lot of girlfriends. Like, all these brothers are so good looking. Like, they're like such cute little guys. I talk like they're like 12.
They're your age.
Well, the pictures I saw, like, they were like young, you know.
Yeah.
I know there's current pictures as well, but so yeah, like they seem like they would have the perfect social life that they grew up having. And then without them realizing it, they have, or them being schizophrenic, but Matt would have a total break. And so it's hard because, like you said, you don't know when this is going to happen. So, like, you can't just, like, go to work and assume everything's fine. So
Yeah.
I don't know what the balance is there.
Yeah, it's hard.
But then from outward appearances, everything seemed fine. So it makes people believe, did he get help, less help than he needed? Because from outside appearances, everything seemed okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, like, going back to David's text real quick, when David was like, texted Joe that Matt's having these visions, it implies this was like a recurring thing. It sounds like something the family is familiar with.
Yeah.
And
Like they've seen it before.
I know. And so a lot of people were like, and of course,
It's probably
everything's
been
speculation.
Yeah, and probably nothing's ever happened. It's just like, oh, he's saying he's seen these things.
Yeah, and they're like
I'll
getting
just
worried.
watch them. But then something, changed and it escalated.
Right. And so then it's sad because when he's like, hey, watch over him, and Joe's like, will do. He's like, this is a normal routine night.
Yeah.
Little did he know, like 30 minutes later, he'd get massively attacked.
Yeah.
And I don't know how this family handled the situation. From like media platforms about this, they talk about how, I don't know if I agree with this, but they talk about like the shame and stigma of schizophrenia related to diagnosis that can sometimes lead families to try and handle it internally rather than getting like institutionalized or like any type of serious help. And so some people are speculating that like maybe they wanted to keep face, and that's why Matt wasn't getting as serious of help that he needed. Like, oh, if we just all watch him, it'll be fine. And I don't know this family. I don't know how they actually handled the situation. Maybe Matt was getting a lot more help than we know that's been revealed yet.
Or they just didn't know it was that bad. Because
Yeah.
Matt was downplaying it. And
It's a very common thing to do.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, we'll just help him. And I didn't know that he was actually going to have this mental break, or he's been having them or something.
Yeah, so I feel like it's kind of unfair to say, like, the family doesn't want shame. Like, I feel like if you knew how bad your kid was doing, you'd be like, screw everyone in this neighborhood. I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
Like, if your son needs that bad of help, I imagine. And they sound like a super close-knit family. So I like to think that they were probably unaware with how serious the situation was. And I'm sure everyone that has gone through hard times always typically downplays it. So I like to think that he got help, but maybe it wasn't as serious as they thought it was going to be, So I don't know if I agree with that. I can definitely see that being a factor for some people, but I don't know. This family just doesn't seem like that to me, but I also don't know them personally, so what do I know? Well, Matt was arrested, of course, at the scene. They're like, okay, you're all scraped up. Like, also, I told the story in a way that you were kind of anticipating, like, who's the man in the house? There's a dead body.
Yeah.
On the phone call, like what like truly happened in the order, on the phone call on the 911, he tells them there's a fire. They continue to talk. He goes on to say that there is a dead man there's a dead body.
Oh, wow.
And he is like stoic. He is like, they're like, are you going to go do CPR? Like, he's like, no. Okay. So he
That's
obviously, was aware of what was going on. Excuse me. as far as like that there's a dead body in this fire and all this stuff. However, it's not like he tried to flee the scene.
No, he didn't understand. He's not like.
It sounds like
He like said a dead man's in the house when it's his brother, and like he'd go do CPR. He's like, nah. Like
it sounds
fine.
like it's such a detachment.
Yeah.
I agree.
And like not fleeing the scene or anything like that.
True. So Matthew Hertgen didn't just face a single count. Like it wasn't just a first-degree murder. Mm-hmm. The state brought a heavy hand to the table to ensure that every aspect of the night was accounted for. So, of course, first-degree murder, knowing and purposely killing his little brother. Mm-hmm. Also, possession of a weapon for unlawful purpose. So, specifically citing the kitchen knife and the golf club. Unlawful possession of a weapon. So, carrying these items with intent of death. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, animal cruelty.
Yeah.
So, he has 4 counts slapped on him. The first time the public sees Matt after that night is through a Zoom screen. Like, his first, hearing, I guess, type thing was through Zoom. It's February 27th, 2025. He's sitting in a cell at the Mercer County Correction Center wearing a blue anti-suicide smock type thing. So they describe. But I was just looking at pictures, and I feel like it doesn't look like that. But that's how they describe it.
Yeah.
So he's obviously just in the prison jumpsuit.
Yep.
He is a shell of the man who once sprinted across soccer fields at Wesleyan. Like, he is expressionless this entire time. Mm-hmm. He remains mostly silent, his head bowed and just listening as the judge reads the charges. The prosecutor doesn't hold back, describing a scene so overboard and gruesome that it sounds like a horror film, which is so true. This is a very disturbing case. Mm-hmm. They speak about the golf club, the knife, the desecration of the body. But then the defense speaks, and they don't talk about a killer. They talk about a patient, as we have, the only way they can take this. They reveal that for 5 years, Matt's family has been trying to hold back a tide of mental illness that finally broke the levee that Saturday night. So they aren't asking for a not guilty. They're asking for a not responsible.
Yeah.
I feel like I can definitely see that case with everything we talked about.
Yeah, same.
Especially with how close these boys were.
Yeah, and it's hard to figure out what's best in that kind of scenario.
Obviously, you're going to need some mental health professionals coming and doing evaluations and everything.
Yeah.
People could be lying about that stuff. I'd be very shocked if somebody wants to play victim to such a horrible disease, but yeah, so obviously there's going to have to be some expert witnesses and all that stuff to help the trial at some point. But the prosecution claps back after that defense. The state's strategy was to lean into Matt's own words against him, where Matt clearly states that he was in a fit of madness. Mm-hmm. And the sheer brutality of the scene to argue that regardless of his mental state, he was a danger that needed to be permanently removed from society.
Yeah.
But I said, permanently removed could be a mental hospital.
Yeah.
And their case, though, this is what the prosecution stands on right now. They played the 911 call. That isn't public. I really wish I had access to it.
Yeah.
They argued that this wasn't the talk of a man who didn't know what he was doing. It was a man acknowledging his own, transition into violence. He was calm, collected, and matter of fact. But I like what you pointed out. He said there's a dead body. He's not oh, my brother, realizing what's going on.
He's still, in his madness.
And I feel like with the cop's description of them, that's a horrible scene in his apartment. And the cops are like, you okay?
Yeah.
Hello. And so to me, it seems yes, he was aware that something happened, but not that he was I'm about to get in trouble. I should get out of here type of acknowledgement.
Or feeling sad about it. He was kind of just
which then I'm
when am I allowed to go back in to the apartment?
Yeah, true. I'm so
clean
tired.
It up. Yeah.
Right, true. They also emphasized the forensic evidence of the plate, the missing eye, and the blunt force trauma.
Yeah.
So their narrative was clear that this wasn't a quick or accidental snap. This was prolonged. He sat down for a potential meal.
Oh, wow.
And that it was very methodical seeming that he cut out the eye specifically. And I don't know a single person that'd be willing to do that. To me, that still argues fit of madness.
Yeah, same. I feel like the arguing for this guy has lost it.
I was that evidence to me is no sane person is gonna do that.
Yeah.
But they're saying, okay, this wasn't just like 2 seconds long. This was over like an hour of time period.
Yeah.
So they're like, who's in a fit of madness for that long? That's their argument.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's like, why? It's not like a sudden thing.
I know, but it's not like if you like snap out of it, you're going to keep going if it's your brother. But they're probably arguing that he did this because he's evil rather than has an issue.
Yeah, which is so sad. So they used David's text message, the whole, I'm worried about Matt, he's having this vision again. They used that to show that Matt was a known power keg, as they described it. That his actions that night were the final lethal explosion of a documented pattern. That he was just like a shotgun ready to go off.
Weird.
So the defense, led by public defenders, didn't try to argue what Matt did. It was like, obviously, in the same amount of evidence, it was Matt that did all this. Like, they're not going to try and fight that. But they focused on the why. They wanted the jury to see Matt not as a monster, but as a victim of his own biology. So, starting with his medical history, they brought forward the 5 years of psychiatric records documenting his schizoaffective disorder. They argued that Matt was trapped in a walking nightmare. I'm like, can you imagine just literally living day to day, just scared?
Yeah.
Freaks me out. They leaned into the visions, like that text that they mentioned. They argued that at that moment of the attack, Matt wasn't seeing his brother Joe. He was seeing a hallucination.
Yeah.
A threat that his broken brain, like, felt like he had to destroy.
Yeah.
So what's scary is he's looking at his brother and he cannot be seeing his brother.
Yeah.
Oh, that freaks me out. He thinks like the devil's in his house, or something. He's trying to get rid of. Oh, my gosh. That is so freaky. I cannot believe the mind is capable of playing that kind of trick. Mm-hmm. And the defense team dove into, of course, the lack of motive. Why would a successful financial professional with no criminal record suddenly butcher, like, his favorite brother, they say.
Yeah.
David's like, hey.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on. But, like, they were super close. They worked together. They lived together.
Yeah.
So they asked these questions, and the answer they claimed was that Matt wasn't present in the room that night. His illness was.
Yeah. True.
That's so scary. So in the state of New Jersey, before a case this severe can go before a jury, there was like a massive legal hurdle called I can never say this word, and it's so ironic. Yeah, competency. Competency. Okay. And I knew I was going to try to do better with words this week. I just can never say that word, even if I'm like whatever. So competency hearing, a competency. I know I'm saying it so goofy. Competency. I think that's right. Can you stop? I think I feel like I'm like over whatever enunciating it. Yeah. Competency. Shut up. A competency hearing is a legal proceeding often initiated by a judge or defense attorney to determine if a criminal defendant has the mental capacity to understand proceedings and assist at his own defense.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Is he competent? Is the easiest way for me to say that.
Yeah.
So that being said, there has been no jury outcome because the case has not yet gone to trial for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they're still waiting for this hurdle. So for much of late 2025 and into early 2026, which we are currently in early 2026, the case has been at a standstill while the court-appointed psychiatrists evaluate Matt. So they got to go through all that. They are trying to determine if he's legally competent, meaning that he understands what's going on in the courtroom, and that he can effectively help his lawyers defend him. If he is found competent, the case will likely proceed to a trial where the jury won't be deciding if he did it, because obviously overwhelming evidence, but rather if he is not guilty by reason of insanity. So that hasn't come out yet, so we'll see in the future. As far as the Hertgen family, this position is horrible. Like, people can't fathom. They aren't just the victim's family, they're also the defender's family.
Oh, I know.
That makes me sick.
Yeah.
How would you handle that?
Probably, I mean, the one brother is already dead.
Okay.
So, I didn't mean it in a bad way. It's like, so you have to support the live brother who's going through a mental challenge.
Yeah.
Issue.
Well, that's the thing is obviously they're big on believing that he actually has this mental illness.
Yeah.
And so it's easier to defend somebody if he was like a clean, squeaky medical history in the past,
Yeah.
you'd be like, what the heck did you just do to your brother?
Yeah.
Then I think that would be different on how they view, obviously.
Or if he did it on purpose.
Right.
Like he was jealous or something because
Yeah.
something happened. Then it's like,
It's like,
different.
even if he's the only living one, you're like,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
yeah.
But
Or you're still like, we don't want you to get, we want to help you because we
right.
love you, but
consequences.
yeah, you still have to pay the price.
Right. And so the family kind of like the spokesman is kind of like the older brother David. So he has been incredibly transparent about Matt's 5-year struggle by detailing the like terrifying visions Matt was having on the night of the murder. They essentially provided like the foundation for the defense, which is funny because the prosecution is trying to use those texts as like, this is like a common pattern and he was like a loaded gun.
Yeah.
And David's like also saying like, no, that's like the defense statement that like he's been having a lot of issues.
Mm-hmm.
So publicly, the family has remained largely private to mourn Joe, as you imagine, but their actions in court suggest that they view this as obviously a medical tragedy rather than like a criminal act of malice. They don't think that Matt was just after Joe for no reason.
Yeah.
They have appeared at hearings, often visibly distraught, supporting the push for mental health treatment over standard incarceration. So it's kind of like a unique way of supporting both sons. I know they want him to get all the help they don't think he should be like free for his actions, but get the mental help he needs.
Yeah.
Is what it sounds like. So David, who dropped Matt off just 90 minutes before the 911 call, specifically carries like a weird.
He's like, that could have been me.
I know, could have been me.
Anna
You may
left
feel a
him.
little guilty.
Yeah.
Like I knew Matt wasn't doing well, and I just dropped him back off with my youngest brother.
Yeah. This is his house, though.
Yeah, so it's not like, and you're right about like this could have happened so often and nothing's ever happened that they're like, oh, just he'll sleep it off, So like, how was he to know? Obviously, he couldn't have. His cooperation with investigators has been vital in establishing the timeline, but his testimony also serves as primary evidence that Matt was, and obviously in the middle of a psychotic break. And so it's just like such a horrible dilemma for people like David, where he's like, dang, like, I wish I would have done something, but also you can't put that on yourself because you could have never known. Oh, it's just freaky. So it's like obviously a psychological tug of war for this family.
Yeah.
So as far as the current status, Matt remains in custody at the Mercer County Correction Center. In his most recent appearances, so this is often known as the preppy Princeton professional, image is entirely gone. Reports emphasize that he appears heavily medicated in these videos, very detached, often barely acknowledging the proceedings around him. The outcome of this case will likely not be like a simple, obviously guilty or not guilty. It'll be a choice between state prison or a state psychiatric hospital. And for the Hertgen family, neither option brings Joe back. And so I'm sure they want, obviously, the psychiatric hospital so that Matt gets the help he needs. But how heartbreaking, it's a little too late in some ways.
True.
So in the end, the Princeton apartment stands as a silent monument to a bond that survived 5 years of mental illness, only to be shattered in 90 minutes of absolute psychotic darkness. It is the story of two brothers, one who died trying to be his brother's keeper, and another who woke up to find that his visions had cost him everything.
Dang, that's sad.
And this is the case of the Hertgen brothers. I know.
Sad one.
Do you have any key words to leave with our listeners?
Eyeball.
Eyeball.
Sorry, that's a weird one.
That's sad.
I'll change it. Take that one out. How about cat?
We'll do cat. That's also probably very offensive to switch.
All right,
no, it's fine. Eyeball or cat or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
There's emojis of both. You can just toss that in. But yeah, so anyways, this was a shorter one, just really freaky. Obviously, we don't know the outcome. I would be shocked if it's not a psychiatric hospital.
Yeah.
Just because to me, it's obvious of all the signs that led up to it. But,
Agreed.
But yeah, anyways, it's just so heartbreaking. Yeah, you'll probably see this a lot as like the preppy Princeton boys and brothers or whatever. So you just never know. You just got to keep care of your people. All right. What you
Maybe no true crime news this week because I need to go change the laundry before we go, and we only have 40 minutes.
Blake's got to catch a flight back to Arizona. Obviously,
Yes.
we're in Utah this week, so we'll probably be back and forth in this studio and the other one in Mesa regularly leading up to, I don't know, until
The
Blake
day.
decides not to come anymore.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, that's all we have for this week. We'll be back next week with another episode of Siblings in Crime.
Adios.